recording right now, just so that way we have it going.
Yep, I already started mine.
Okay, perfect. Is there a way on your end? Can you make it so that your recorder could pick up my voice for a second? Because I was gonna like clap or something. That way, it's easy for Caitlin to sync up the audio. Or something like that. Like to have like a mark where she can sync it together because there's two separate tracks. Like, are you recording through your headphones or are you recording through the microphone?
I got the mic.
If you unplug your headphones, it just plays through your speakers, right? So then if I say something,
so
hopefully pick up on your end. So like now, if I'm talking, is it playing through your? Is it playing through? Oh, can you hear me?
I'm not hearing anything.
Oh.
What the heck? Stop making faces at me. I can't hear what you're saying. I don't know. Why are you so... My sound's up. It hates me. Why won't it come out through my computer speakers? Oh, device and settings. How do I go? Where's my settings? I don't know how to use Discord. No, that's direct message. Oh, I found settings. Devices. This one? Okay, try that.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, here. So make a clap.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Okay, that's where you can sync it.
That pick up on your end? That pick up on your audio?
Here, do it again.
Okay.
It's very small, but I mean,
Okay.
probably.
As long as it's something, it'll be a mark for Caitlin to know.
Yep.
All right. Okay,
All right,
if you're listening to this, that's your sync mark. You better use that well.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, I'm back to...
All right, yep. Can you hear me and everything?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so...
Okay.
This is... On my side, I hear like a buzzing. Do you hear that too?
A little bit, but it's not... I think it's... Is that coming? Do you think it's coming from my mic, or do you think it's coming from your mic? Are you saying?
No, I think it's coming from my mic. I think it's like I don't know what it is, but
yeah, I hear a little bit of it. That's probably just. Does it have the green light on or the blue light on?
The blue one.
Okay, yeah, that blue one should work better because the blue one has the more sound dampening stuff. It might just be the room you're in if it's like echoey.
Yeah, I tried putting up blankets and everything, but.
Yeah, it's the same thing here. I'm sure my room's. This basement is not the best for recording either.
I got creaky chairs, so I literally have my shoes wedged in between my chair and the floor.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe.
I went through everything.
Maybe Caitlin can work some magic in the editing and make it.
That's
way better.
That's what we pay her for.
Exactly. We pay her so much money.
Yep.
I mean, getting like the big bucks for recording or for editing our podcast.
Yeah, well, we don't get anything, so she gets as much as we get.
Exactly, yeah. We share it equally. Okay, let's see here.
Okay, I was...
Topics list.
I didn't really do much research. Because I kind of was like, I don't know what to research about, but...
Yeah, I only thing I researched was I looked up a bit of stuff about, what was it? The, like, auto-tune and everything.
Yeah.
But other than that, I did not look up too much.
Okay. And then, so, for the analog versus digital or whatever, like, I don't know, what are we doing for that one? Like, are we talking about, like, acoustic versus electronic and stuff?
Yeah, I didn't totally know about that. That was one probably I had the least amount of information on. I could talk about, like... Because I feel like there really isn't a huge argument there, because, like, they both have their uses, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like one's... I wouldn't say electric's better than acoustic, and I wouldn't say acoustic's better than electric. You know, they both kind of have their use cases.
I mean, we could just go over that one fast.
Yeah. Do you think, I was thinking, like, maybe a little shorter for that one, but like 15 minutes per, so that puts us at like 45 minutes total or so.
Yeah, and then if one
Somewhere in
goes
that
over, if
range.
it's a good conversation, we'll just let it go though.
Yeah, we'll let it go. And then same thing, if it's not really going anywhere, we can end it a little bit early.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So we're recording, we're all good and everything.
Yep. I'm gonna check my
guess-
thing one more time. Make sure it's recording. It's
Yep.
recording. Okay.
I'm going. All right. Should I start or should you start?
Well, wait. We need a cold open, don't we?
Oh, we do need a cold open, don't we?
But
Okay.
maybe we said something funny enough. Hopefully.
Is there a train going past your house right now?
Maybe. This is gonna be so good.
No, the audio quality of this is gonna be
Yeah.
amazing.
It's okay.
Long distance podcast recording, right?
Yeah, right by a train with like 2 dogs. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully the
Exactly.
dogs don't go crazy.
I wouldn't mind hearing that. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, who let the dogs out?
Yeah. Who did?
Who knows? Actually, they were still inside, or else I wouldn't be able to hear them.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should let them out. That way, they can go outside.
Then they're gonna
Enjoy
run
life.
away.
Oh, that's not
Then
good.
they're gonna go to puppy prison.
What? There's
Yeah.
puppy prison. That's not fair.
Yeah, we don't want puppy prison.
No.
I got my handy dandy coin.
Okay. All right. Doing a challenge debate episode.
Yeah, we want to do so. Like, we'll do like heads is whatever side, and then tails is whatever side,
Yup.
and we can give like a disclaimer that like this is not actually our opinions.
Yup.
This is just what we're going for, and then boom, we're done.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
You
I'm
kick us
gonna-
off.
Kick us off. Here we go. Ready? And 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to North No Return. As always, I'm your host, Austin.
Woo!
Woo! You're gonna say your name, but then, and joined as always by.
Our live audience. Woo! Woo! I'm here.
And also Tristan's here, I think.
Yes,
too,
that's
right?
me.
Yay!
I am
Awesome.
the live audience.
Yeah. Live audience, live commentary. What more do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a special
perfect.
episode, everybody. This is episode
Oh,
number
yes.
13. This is the first episode me and Austin are in the same room. Sad
It's
days,
so weird.
sad
I'm
times.
sitting here and there's no Tristan nearby. This is not good.
Yeah, the
I know.
Tristan energies are not there.
Yep.
So
I can see his face though on my computer. It's okay.
Yeah.
His beautiful, illuminated face.
I shrunk myself down and snuck into Austin's computer.
Oh, how'd you get in there? Get out of there. That's not okay. You can't be in my computer.
No, it's nice and warm in here. I love apples.
Hopefully it's not too warm. This is actually I'm using a Windows today. I'm
Dang.
on a ThinkPad.
I think that you called
Laptop.
my bluff.
I know. No more Apple for me right
Yeah.
now.
So that being said, we're
Yeah,
over like a Zoom, we're over a Discord call. So if the
Yep,
audio
yep.
quality is bad, we're still just getting some stuff ready. We're in 2 different
Yeah, we'll get-
studios.
We'll get the kinks sorted out and stuff, and
Yeah,
we'll
like the
figure it out.
bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the band.
like the band.
We'll work the kinks out and walk through the doors of no. We'll get the kinks out and then rush through the doors of Pink Floyd. I don't know what's another
Yeah.
band name.
Beatles.
Beatles. Yep.
Motorhead.
There we go. Yep. Motorhead. Yep. Yep.
Colonel Les Claypool and the Fearless Flying Frog Brigade.
Now,
Work
that's
that
a
one
good
in
band.
there.
Yeah. I don't know how I can work that in.
Yeah,
But...
you got it. Okay, but at the end of the episode, you'll have to do something.
Okay. All right. I'm
Alright.
gonna be thinking about this.
Speaking of, our
Alright.
episode is going to be like a devil's advocate thing. We have 3 different topics we're going to go over, and we're going to flip a coin to see what side of that topic we have to argue, even if it's not our opinions.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we might not necessarily agree with what we're saying, but it's playing devil's
Yeah.
advocate, trying to have a conversation. So, Tristan, do you want to introduce our first topic for today?
Yeah, so we're going to go over acoustic versus electronic music.
Electronic. Okay.
Yeah. And
Uh,
I got my coin here. My
Yep,
1992 quarter from the
this
year I
may
was
not be a
born.
visual medium, but you can still you can imagine the quarter in your head, right?
Yeah.
You know, picture
so-
Tristan holding a quarter.
Little eagle and then this little dude's face on the one side.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's a quarter for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a quarter of $1. That's why it's 25 cents. Fun facts. Okay.
Yeah.
So heads will be for acoustic, tails will be for digital or
Okay,
electronic.
but who? Like, okay, yeah, but is that for you? So if you get heads, you're doing acoustic.
Oh,
and
are you heads or tails?
I think that makes the most sense.
You can pick heads or tails.
I'll be heads. Well, I can't pick.
I don't know
so
what
I
I'm
pick
doing.
heads. Okay, let's just. Okay. I got an idea.
Okay, you got it.
This is for you. You flip the coin. If it's heads, you're gonna do acoustic. If it's tails, you're gonna do electric. How's that sound?
Okay.
And then I'll do the opposite.
So, heads electric, tails acoustic.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's exactly. Yeah. Okay.
It is
Heads is
backwards.
electric. Tails is acoustic. I flipped
Heads
it.
is electric.
It's heads. So
Yeah.
Tristan's gonna argue for why electric's better. I'm gonna argue for why acoustic is better.
I want you to start.
You want me to start? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess
So-
stage fright.
Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, here we go. Oh, my fridge just turned on. Hopefully, it's not gonna be too loud. Whatever.
fridges
we'll
are
figure
cool.
that out. Yeah, fridges are cool. They keep stuff cold and keep my food fresh.
Ooh,
All right. So
fridges.
here we go. Acoustic music, right? Here's why it's so much better than this newfangled electric stuff, right? With electric music, it's all synthesized and put through, electronics and computers are weird and scary. I don't like them. I like nice strings and wood. That's all you need to make music, right? The nice simple sounds of a nice acoustic guitar. It's so much cleaner and laid back and chill. So think of all the good music that uses acoustics, right? Think about folk, right? That's a big acoustics thing. Think about earlier rock where we had electric. That was big. Bob Dylan played acoustic guitar until he went electric,
Oh,
but whatever,
you're messing
right?
yourself up there.
Early
yeah, Bob
Dylan.
Dylan.
Early Bob Dylan was good,
Yeah,
okay?
but later Bob Dylan's good too, and he went electric as
mean-
as like a protest against people thinking that there's a superiority to acoustic. So
But you wouldn't call his acoustic stuff bad, would you? His electric
No.
stuff was good too, I'll admit, but
But using him as an example backs yourself in the corner because he used that
okay,
as a protest.
here's a good example then. Everyone talks about this, right? What's one of the greatest examples of acoustic music of all time? Nirvana's MTV Unplugged episode. Everyone's seen it. It's one of their biggest things. One of
Who's
MTV's
Nirvana?
biggest things. Oh
What's that?
my!
What's Nirvana?
Ever heard of Kurt Cobain and the Naked Baby album cover? Some of the most influential grunge of the early 90s.
I don't know what
just
you're
all
looking
the
up. I don't look
90s.
up naked babies.
Oh well, okay. Let's not go through my search history today. That might not be a good idea. But everyone knows Nirvana, right? And one of their pinnacle achievements was their MTV Unplugged, where they got rid of the electric instruments, they turned down the
They
amplifiers,
unplugged.
took out their guitar, they got unplugged, and just sat back and played some laid back music. One of the best recording sessions in history.
Yeah, but then think about Woodstock with Jimi Hendrix, electric guitar.
Well, I suppose that's a good point.
And then,
but
if you have electric instruments, you have more freedom to do whatever you want. You can have like a pedal that makes it sound like this, and you have with all your instruments, like even like a drum machine. Then it's more like precise with the sounds and stuff. And like with the guitar, you have all the pedals and you have all the different you have distortion and stuff, and then you have all the different amps that sound slightly different. So then you can like chase a tone, like a specific tone, instead of just accepting that the guitar sounds like this.
get more variety.
You get
and
more
stuff,
freedom.
right? But could you argue with that freedom it takes away from some of like the purity of what guitar is and what rock music, not necessarily rock, but what guitar music should be?
You're talking about it being more, you're saying electric music's inorganic?
Yeah, I'm saying it's not. It's something different than what it should be.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good argument, but like if you're putting synthesizers into something and amps, you're going to be changing up the way. I don't sound very intelligent right now, but
But it's
changing up the
cool.
way.
But pew 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 pew, music's cool.
I know I'm having trouble disagreeing with you, but I do agree. Like, yes, electric instruments sound super cool, and I can't say that because I'm arguing against them.
I know, that's my problem too. So I think that whatever I don't think this one's gonna go much longer. I think whatever you're doing with your instruments, it just has to fit your style, I guess. If your style's electric, if your style's acoustic, whatever. There's advantages in both. I don't think there's a better one or a worse one.
Yeah,
That's
I
an
would agree with
example
that.
of a
Oh, go
not
ahead.
thought through idea.
Oh, okay. Let's see where this is gonna go. Excited to hear this.
No, that was the example of a not thought through
Oh,
idea.
okay.
Having
I see
acoustic
what you're
versus
saying.
electric being the first one.
Yeah. Well, no, I think we had to raise some good points, right? I think
Yeah.
acoustic has its strengths, right? Acoustic sounds
Yeah.
really good on slower, more lyrical or more laid back music, right? Like, again, I think a great example is literally all of folk music, right?
then, like,
You'll hear.
You said mainly with
yeah.
lyrics. Sorry, but you said mainly with lyrics. All classical music from like the classical period is acoustic. Without most of the times don't have lyrics.
That's true, but a lot of times, now I'm not an expert on classical music, but that was more with like bands, right? Like we had
Yeah,
like a
but they're
piano,
all
you had a
acoustic.
full orchestra, right? And pianos are strings too, but like it wasn't the four-man band with you got your guitar, your bass, your drums, your keyboard, right? It
Yeah,
was
but that's like a
little
very
different.
Western look at it. What about in the whole
That's true.
world? Because acoustics probably. Wait, no, I'm electric.
You switched sides. See, I'm winning.
Yeah, what the
You switched
heck? I just
sides.
pranked myself.
Yeah, so anyways, that's a very Western view you have there, Tristan. Only looking at it as from a Western four-man band perspective, huh? You're so closed-minded.
Well, imagine like Beethoven rocking on like a electric keyboard instead of the piano. Imagine how cool
That would
that'd
sound
be.
sick.
He had so like
Imagine,
there's so many more tools you could use.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, imagine Handel's Messiah playing on like a synthesizer. That'd be sick.
Yeah,
I don't know how that would sound. but-
Imagine you go into your like shed, like your workshop, and there's like a screwdriver and a hammer. Versus if you have a drill, a hammer, a saw, like all these things, what one's gonna be able to get more work done?
I suppose the more tools option.
Yeah,
right?
so that's like electric.
Yeah, I see where you're going with there. Yeah, so I think I would agree that electric offers more opportunities, right? But acoustic can maybe offer a slower, simpler, more pure sound. You know,
Yes.
trying to go for something a little more mellow, right?
Like you're never gonna hear a metal song. Well, I'm not gonna say never, but like you rarely hear a metal song with acoustic guitar and stuff.
Yup.
And you hardly hear indie music without the acoustic like vibe of it all.
That's very
Like
necessary for that.
ukuleles. Ukuleles are like the most acoustic thing.
Yeah, that's about as acoustic as it gets right there.
Yeah, top acoustics.
Yeah, I mean that's just the best instrument, I think, right? I mean, it doesn't get any better than ukulele.
Yeah, what
right?
what other instrument has 4 strings and is as cool?
I can't think of any. I mean,
I can't think of any.
from
Maybe like a drum.
from the top of my mind to the base of my mind, I can't think of anything that has
Yeah.
4 strings and sounds good.
A 4-string violin.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I don't even know how many
Wait,
strings
do they make it for?
has.
Do violins? I don't think Well,
I don't
no,
know.
you might be right. Actually,
My
I think
favorite
they do
instrument is a
4
4-string harp.
That's not a lot of notes you can play. It's only 4
You can play
strings.
every note you want. You gotta get creative.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I'm
Okay.
right.
Okay. Well, that's your opinion.
Okay. So, in that one, music wins.
Music, yeah, I
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Next topic. You got
Next
this.
topic.
Perfect
All right.
segue.
This
time.
is the one I'm most excited for out of the 3. I think this one's gonna be interesting, and that is auto-tune harmful or negative to the music industry as a whole? How is auto-tune negative? Does auto-tune negatively affect the music industry? So Tristan, flip a coin, and if it's heads, I'm gonna argue for auto-tune. If it's tails, I'm gonna argue against it.
Okay. Get tails. I dropped my coin.
Oh no. Okay, we're gonna have to do a reflip. Playing the field calls for a new flip. Oh, I hope it's heads.
Tails.
Oh, I
It's
argue against
tails.
auto-tune.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's okay. That's okay. I have plenty to say that's bad about auto-tune. Okay, since you're defending it, let's hear your opinion first.
T-Pain.
T.
That's my entire argument.
He did the T-Pain defense. Oh no, that's the one thing I was scared of was we knew who T-Pain was.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you mean? Of course, T-Pain. That's a point for me. Obviously, T-Pain sounds horrible. It's this horrible auto-tune mess. Why would you ever bring him up?
T-Pain's awesome. So like, most people think auto-tune is like something to fix your to automatically put it to the nearest note or whatever. But T-Pain's like, I see this, and I'm gonna raise you an entirely new style. So he made it all robotic sounding and stuff. So he used it as a tool to make his voice a different instrument.
But it's not his natural voice, right? Isn't that cheating? He doesn't have to work as hard, doesn't have to train his vocal cords and stuff. He's using technology to supplement a lack of skill.
Well, it might not be a lack of skill. It's like creative to use that, like as an like having the robotic voice is what he was going after. He wasn't going after a perfect singing style. He was going after this certain style of, vocals. Mm-hmm. He wasn't going to be like the greatest singer because people have already done that. You can't rise and like Bob Dylan. Like he's gonna be like, I'm not the greatest singer in the world. If he wanted to use autotune, who cares?
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying, but what about like live performers on stage who like lip sync to auto-tune music and stuff? You're not really hearing them perform live. It's not a genuine concert experience. They're auto-tuning through their mics and stuff.
So are they singing and then the mic's auto-tuning, or are they lip syncing?
What's the difference, in my opinion? If I'm arguing against auto-tune, in my opinion, what's the difference, right? If it's going to be playing through a microphone, or if it's pre-recorded, it's going to be auto-tuned in the studio, and if they're performing it live, it's going to be auto-tuned through their mic. It's the same synthesized, computerized sound.
Okay. I'm going to run around this question. I'm going to ask you a question. So, give me a second to get my bearings. So, do you think that if a musician is using auto-tune or studio tools in the studio that they can't replicate on, like, live performances, does that make it less valuable?
That make it less.
Or like
Yup. Again, as someone arguing against autotune, I would have to say yes, it does, because if they aren't performing it genuine in the moment, it's not their real voice, it's some fake, creation of theirs. How does that? If I go to a concert, I'm there for that genuine connection with the artist, to hear their voice, to see them performing and stuff, right? Isn't autotune just one big barrier that gets in the way of that?
Okay, now what if they're sick, though? Like, what if they're sick and they can't perform to their utmost? They're like, I'm going to give these guys a show, and the only way I can do that is to mask my voice, because I'm sick and I can't hit the notes I usually hit. Or, if they are a perfect singer, but they're sick or they have a complication, there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, I suppose that's a good point, right? If you have to try to, the show must go on, and you have to give the best performance you can, some concessions probably have to be made somewhere.
And then, like, if you use studio tools, not just auto-tune, but, like, if you use any studio tools, eventually, eventually it's not, replicatable. Well, replicatable to, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. It's not that, you can't just replicate it on a stage. Like, think of the Beatles. They stopped touring, not because of auto-tune, but like because of all the studio work they were doing, that they couldn't replicate the music to everybody else. So they're like, we're gonna keep it in the studio. We're not gonna go live.
That's a good point, but the Beatles still did do live performances. Sure, their later stuff they didn't perform live, but their earlier stuff all the time. And they sounded great, and they didn't use auto-tune, right? Think about the Beatles. A good example, Freddie Mercury is one of the greatest vocalists of all time, right? He never used auto-tune. If these all-time greats don't need auto-tune, why do the artists of today need auto-tune?
Well, it's not that the artists of today need auto-tune. It's just that it's a tool that they can use, so why wouldn't they? Like, if you can make yourself sound better for nothing, why wouldn't you? Like, if back in the day, if they had this tool, like, I bet a lot more people would be using it. Mm-hmm. Even if it's just
I see.
like slight pitch correction, it doesn't really like whole jumps like T-Pain, you know, just like little pitch corrections, just make them sound, you know, a little bit better.
I guess my one last point though I'd have to say against that is a lot of times auto-tune can make a voice sound too good, right? If you're perfect, if you're pitch perfect, if it's perfect in like an almost robotic way, can't that take like some of the humanity, some of the personality out of a voice? Can't that make the singer sound kind of too clean, too smooth? A lot of times, isn't it kind of their imperfections that make someone noticeable, or their traits more important, right? Does it kind of take some of the personality and humanity out of a singer?
I'd say that's a good point. But on the other hand, like on the other side of that, again with T-Pain, you've got like if they're doing it on purpose to sound robotic, like I mean like think like Daft Punk, like their whole act was they're robots, so they went out and made their voice sound robotic, and without auto-tune and stuff, they could never do that.
But I'm talking about for artists who don't try to sound robotic. For art, like you can't tell me some like Taylor Swift or Ed Sheeran doesn't use auto-tune, right? But like they're trying to go for that more human sounding voice. They aren't like Daft. They aren't EDM. They aren't T-Pain. Like they're trying to sound
his
human,
own genre.
Right?
T-Pain.
His own genre. I'm not gonna put him in a box.
What's your favorite genre of music? My favorite genre is T-Pain. You got EDM, you got pop, and T-Pain.
Those are the only three genres of music.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fit into one of those three, it's not music.
Yeah.
You're either at the club like raving, you're listening to pop in the car, or your life is just T-Pain.
Or you are T-Pain, yeah. There's no separation. It is either music, I mean like EDM pop, or you are T-Pain. There's no in between.
You're just T-Pain.
You have
you
to
become
be T-Pain.
T-Pain.
Okay. Auto-tune.
Yeah, I'm genuinely curious. I thought we're kind of, unless you have anything else you want to say that's important. I had a question about auto-tune kind of after
Ask.
that, but do you have anything
Ask.
else you want to add?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
I'm genuinely curious. What's your actual opinion on auto-tune? If you weren't going to argue heads or tails, this is something I actually have a bit of an opinion on in real life.
Yeah.
I'm curious what your actual stance is on auto-tune.
It's kind of like the electronic guitar, like electronic music. It's like it is just another tool, and obviously it can be used wrong. Like if you use distortion on a guitar to like make it not sound like a guitar anymore, and that's like, and you're not going for that sound, it's not going to sound good. So if you use auto-tune to an extent where your voice isn't sounding how you like, it's not like an artistic choice to make it sound like robotic. But if it's like if you don't know how to use your tools, it will end up bad. But it's the same way as everything else. If you don't know how to use a guitar, the guitar's not going to sound good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. I think I have a pretty similar stance. I'm pretty pro auto-tune because the way I see it, everything in the studio is going to be pitch corrected and tuned. It might not be auto-tune the exact plugin, but it's going to be some form of pitch correction, some form of audio editing, right? That's where we live in. We live in a digital age. Everything's going to be messed with and edited. And a great example, I think, is like the way songs get popular now is instead of an artist releasing an album, it blows up on TikTok, right? And that's how it happens. And the way that those songs blow up is when you have an auto-tuned, catchy sounding song that you can repeat over and over again in like a reel or a TikTok, something that can be clipped. That's what makes songs popular nowadays. Like it or not, that's the world we're living, and that's only possible because of pitch correction and auto-tune and letting anyone can become an artist nowadays because of tools like auto-tune, which it lowers the skill gap, but I think the skill ceiling's still there. To use some like competitive terms, you can still have good singers that are the best of all time, right? But it makes the barrier of entry that much easier for young artists trying to blow up on the internet.
And then there's also a difference between vocalists and singers. Like you have vocalists that could sing like amazingly. Like think like you have Freddie Mercury and then like a bunch of opera singers. I'm not versed in opera, so I don't know anyone. And then you have like Kurt Cobain, who has the same fame as like him and Freddie Mercury. Most people know both of them.
Yep.
But you can't tell me Kurt Cobain was a good vocalist. And not technically, not skillfully, but he had that.
I wouldn't call him bad, but he definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
He was nowhere near Freddie Mercury, right?
I mean,
I wouldn't call him anywhere near as good.
I think if you go to karaoke, you could probably find a good portion of people that are better than him. But he was a singer, not a vocalist. So,
Yup.
like, his words, like, his voice matched what he was trying to say.
Yup.
Instead of, like, because if you sang Nirvana as, like, this, like, clean, if Freddie Mercury or
The
Robert
genre
Plant,
is literally called grunge. It's supposed to be dirty and rough and unclean and, like, dirty. And that's the point, right? It's not supposed to be perfect.
Yeah. And then,
one thing I want to point out too about T-Pain, everyone always brings up T-Pain when it comes to auto-tune, right? I find it funny that he gets this disrespect for that when Daft Punk, not same exact thing, but pretty similar thing. Everyone likes Daft Punk, or at least they're popular.
Yeah.
T-Pain is an amazing vocalist. Go listen to some of his acoustic stuff. Like, he has skill. Like, he does not need auto-tune to sound good. His un-auto-tuned vocals sound amazing. People shouldn't hate on him just because he used auto-tune as an artistic tool.
It was creative. I'm not a huge fan of T-Pain. He's not my favorite genre. My favorite genre is not
which
T-Pain.
one is it, pop or EDM then? Which one's your favorite genre? It's not T-Pain.
All three of those are my top three.
All three top three. Wow.
Of all three genres in the world, they're all my top three. But no, I think
that really is a genre of all time.
Yeah, it is definitely one of them.
Yep.
I mean, I think I respect how T-Pain did it, and then he kept with it, even though he got all this hate. He was like, "I'm T-Pain, like I can do whatever I want." He didn't have anything to prove. He was like, "I'm gonna use this tool, and I'm gonna use it how I see best fit for it." Because and then when you said earlier, it's like anybody can be a musician nowadays. It's like anybody can make music. I don't know if anybody can be a musician. There's a difference there.
Yep, I would agree with that. Yeah,
but I mean, it's still kind of hard to get in. But,
That's something I like about music right now is anyone can buy a basic audio editing software or some kind of like GarageBand type software where you just throw in a looping drum track, throw in some kind of sample on top of that, and boom, you have a song, right? It's not that hard to do. But what is hard to do is do that and do it well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I was saying earlier, to get into music now, it's so much easier. You don't need a bunch of expensive equipment. You can do it all on your laptop if you want to. But to do it well, you still need that skill and that knowledge to be a accomplished, well-respected musician.
Yeah. Do you ever watch Rick Beato on YouTube?
I do not know.
Okay. See, I know he was in a band or something. I don't really know his whole backstory, but he's got some like appeal to authority, right? But so he has this video that comes up every like year or so, and it's about how modern music's so boring, like modern pop music so boring. But and that's like a common misconception I think of most people. They're like, oh well, everybody uses auto-tune, everybody uses this. Everybody, it's so boring. Everybody uses the same 4 chords, but it's not that they're not being creative. It's just that like that's what's popular. They make money off that, but they still have creative elements in it, even if they have to use those same 4 chords and everything. The lyrics are new, and there's new like mixes of everything. And then if they use the tools that the old people older bands weren't allowed, they have that extra creativity. So if you're looking for a band that sounds like back in the old days, you're not going to find it in pop music because you're not going to purposely ignore a tool. Like if you have a hammer and a saw and you had to cut down a tree, you're not going to use the hammer.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to
so many tools.
We live in a modern age. We're going to use our modern tools.
That's kind
if you want cool old sounding music, go listen to old music.
Yeah, we have that ability. We don't need bands like other bands. We have the ability to listen to those bands as much as we want.
Exactly. Everyone has Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon or something on their phone, or even YouTube.
You just look up, you look up literally anything.
Go to your phone, type in Nirvana. Go to your phone, type in Beatles. You can find whatever you want.
Go to your phone, type in new wave beats, lo-fi beats to study to with a hint of metal. You'll find something.
Oh, whoa, that sounds interesting. Go to your phone, you can type in Les Claypool and the Fearless Flying Frog Brigade. Listen to that if you wanted to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We went to the concert, so we had to plug.
Yeah, it was a good concert. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, so
I never.
you
Yeah,
got it. No,
yeah.
it's all you. You're the
I was
man
gonna say
now.
I've never heard the end they ended with him playing bass with someone else playing saxophone. That was a cool combination.
Yes.
Gotta say.
And one of them's
It's-
electric and one of them's acoustic.
That's true. I want more saxophones in my rock music.
Oh yeah, horns should be in every genre. Even T-Pain.
T-Pain did what was it? The Get Low song, right? Is that T-Pain?
I don't even know.
I'm not
I
sure.
told you
but
T-Pain's not my favorite genre.
yeah, exactly. But
But
I'm just imagining that right now with the horn section.
I do think T-Pain as a genre should get more horny.
Ooh, ooh,
You're not
we're
supposed to
getting
make that
spicy in
sound.
the booth today.
No. We're not even in the
Let's
same
not track
room. We can't
Tristan's-
get spicy.
Let's not check Tristan's church history today. That might not be good.
Music.
Yeah.
So speaking of, that like long-winded thing was my segue.
Uh-huh.
Can there be bad music? Is music boring? Is
Ooh.
music bad? Is there such thing as bad music?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So let's flip a coin this time again and say heads. You're arguing for bad music. Tails, you're arguing against bad music. Saying there's no such thing as bad music. Does that sound good?
I don't remember
Here
what
we
you
go.
said, but you remember, so.
Okay. Heads is
Tails.
for bad music. It's okay.
I'm
so you're
against
arguing
bad
there's no such
music?
thing.
Oh, easy.
Okay. Man, you every time you've gotten the one that I wanted to get.
Okay, fine.
Come
Let's
on.
switch. Let's switch.
Oh no! It's
No,
fine,
let's
it's fine.
switch.
I can argue.
Let's switch.
Okay. Are you sure? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
let's switch.
Okay, so
I
I'm
have an
arguing
argument,
that there's
so-
no bad music. Okay, that's good. I like that. All right, then let's hear. What's your argument? Why is there bad music?
Okay. Actually, I'll start out easy. So what about music that's like just skill-wise bad? Like, have you ever heard of the Shags, the Philosophy of the World?
Yes.
Okay. What about that music?
Okay. Yep. I would agree. There's something. There is technical skill in music, right? But at the end of the day, music is a form of self-expression, right? And if that's what they wanted to express, however technically bad it might sound, I think it's valid, right? If that's what they felt like, okay, I want to show this in my music, they're going to express that. Does
Okay.
that make any? You know what I mean? Like, music is a self-expression.
Yeah,
You're
now
going to be
here-
able to.
Want to know the top
whatever
secret thing about that?
What?
So the dad of the Shags got a fortune, and he said that his daughters are going to be famous. So he bought them all instruments and got them lessons and bought them studio time. They didn't care about music. They were just thrown into it. So like that's why, and like they're just like brand new. They're like, well, I can do this and this. So like, there's an extent. I mean, what's the extent where it's not self-expression anymore, or like where you're like, if somebody makes music just for money, and they're forced to make something because their label or something. Where's the line between self-expression and just making music for content reasons instead of art?
I see what you're saying. Yep, there's monetary value in music too, right? I think that as long as the artist says that they are passionate about it or that they enjoy doing it, that means that it's valid and it's something that they can. Art is defined by the artist, right? If I if I have a painting and I drop a bucket of paint on it accidentally, that's not art, right?
It
But
can
if
be.
Jackson Pollitt walks by and he drops a bucket of paint on a canvas and says that it is art, then it is art, right? It's the exact
Yeah.
same piece. It's just defined by the artist. So I think that if the person making the music is like, hey, I am only doing this for the money, I don't care at all about the music, I'm doing it for selfish reasons, no one's going to ever say that. But if they were to say that, then yeah, it's bad music. It's not good art.
You're supposed to be arguing
But-
against bad music.
No, but I'm saying I
Okay.
think you're gonna find an artist who's gonna say, I don't like my work, I don't enjoy making music, I'm not passionate about music. Like, you're not gonna find. I can't, like, even if someone was forced into making music, they're gonna be doing it because they enjoy it. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. Why else would you make? Like, you're gonna make music because something you like, and if something you like doing, it's art, right?
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay, I have another argument, but I'll back you up on that one because so you're saying if somebody's forced to make music like for money, like if the label's like you need to release this by this time, they just like chuck out some random songs they don't really care about. But the idea still went through their head, and they still chose to pick those lyrics and everything. So it's still like somewhat personal. That you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's not. They didn't just roll a dice. It's like, okay, if I roll number 5, next word's going to be pineapple.
Yeah,
right?
so it did go through their mind. It's filtered through a human like creativity. It's filtered through.
Yeah, everything we do and say is done through our outlook, our worldview on life, right? So if no matter what they're saying, it's something that came from them.
Now, what
it's a form of self-expression.
What if music's actively harmful to some people or something? Like, what if there was like a very, very hateful, like it was racist, homophobic, all this stuff. It was very evil, we could say.
Yep. No, I get what you're saying.
Where's the merit in that?
That's a great point, and that's something hard to argue for, right? I don't want to argue for someone being racist or homophobic. Those are two horrible things. I would want to say those are okay. Yeah. And I'm kind of almost want to go to your side and say that should be allowed.
Let's do a switcheroo?
No, it's fine. I'm sticking to what I got. I'm just saying, I'm trying to defend myself before I say, let's go listen to racist music. I don't want to say that without context, right? Don't sound clip me saying, hey, everyone should listen to racist music. Don't cut that bit out. Okay,
I already got it.
Don't cut that bit out.
That's my soundboard now.
That's not your soundboard. But what I am saying is, we live in a world where, at least in our country, free speech is protected, and even if that speech sucks and it's not good, it's protected. And even if that art has a negative message to it, it's still a form of self-expression.
Okay.
And that's still art. I don't like that art. You can choose not to like something. There's certain paintings I don't like. There's certain songs I don't like, but those are still art. Just because it has a negative connotation doesn't make it any less or more art.
But can there be such thing as bad art? It can
make it something that I don't like. I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not bad. I just don't like it, right? Okay. I don't have to like everything ever made, but that doesn't make it bad. Austin, doesn't get to pick what makes something good or bad.
Okay.
It's the artist who makes it.
Now, you've been saying a lot about self-expression and very personal and creativity. What if it's written by an AI?
Okay.
What if it's...
Now,
yeah.
I would say that by saying there's such thing as bad music, can I exclude AI in that? Because I get what you're saying there. I think I don't want to fold over, but that is one thing where I think you have a solid point. Everything else, I still stand for what I'm saying. There's such thing as bad music. But I think with AI, that's something that's created by... Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. As of right now, artificial intelligence is not true AI, right? It's not sentient. If I were to ask ChatGPT, can you explain to me the philosophies of the mind? Tell me what love is, right? It can't do that. It can give me a Google result for what those things are, but it can't reason out in its own brain. It can't think for itself.
Yeah.
It's not actually it's not like a human brain in there. It's just it's a glorified search algorithm, right? I think if AI got to the point, theoretically, right, way in the future, where, it's true AI, it's truly sentient, it can think for itself, it can have emotions, it can feel pain, it can feel sadness, it can feel love, it can feel happiness, right? All those things, which that's terrifying thing. That's a whole other discussion. Is that okay or is that not okay? What should we do with that, right? But let's just put that whole ethical dilemma to the side and say, yes, we have true AI that can make music. Then I'd say that's 100% music. That's something that's created by something that can feel emotion. But I will give you that AI music in its current form is not music.
Well, we're not arguing if it's music or not. We're arguing if it can be bad.
That's a good point. Yes, AI music can be bad. I would give it that. Current AI music. Okay. If we had AI in the future that is actually AI, no, it's still a form of self-expression. I think my main argument is that self-expression is what makes music good or bad. And I think an AI could theoretically self-express. I mean,
if it becomes true AI, which I don't know. I don't think I'd take that trade. But whatever. Don't.
Yeah, exactly. That's a whole moral. Yeah, we can't control what Microsoft's going to do and Google's going to do in the next couple of years. But as of now, AI isn't that smart.
Well,
so
to everybody,
we got one up on AI right now.
Hey, as far as everybody knows, we're AI right now. Just me and you are just
That's
AI
true.
because they don't know who we are unless they do. Then, nerds. Imagine knowing somebody.
Imagine knowing us in real life.
Imagine knowing a celebrity.
Why are you listening to this podcast? You could be talking to us in real life. That'd be so much cooler.
Yeah.
Way cooler in real life.
Or you could be like practicing how to do backflips.
Yeah. Oh, we should do
Backflips are
that.
cool. Yeah. Austin, me and Austin will podcast us doing backflips.
Yeah, it's gonna just be the sound of it's gonna be some soft thuds. I just fall on the ground, and then you'll see the occasional ouch or
very hard thuds.
just like a mic ready, like a thud, boom, right into the ground. yeah. That's a good sound bite right there.
Yeah,
that's very satisfying.
Sound bite. I'm hungry. Yeah. So
me too.
Okay, what other argument you got for that?
Well, I think I've defended it pretty well. I think that like I said. My argument, the central tenet is self-expression, right? And as long as the music coming out of you is self-expression, which I can't really envision a world other than AI where it's not self-expression, then it's up to the artist. You can critically look at something, you can analyze it, you can say, hey, this chord progression doesn't sound very good, or hey, this isn't pitched correctly. You can have critiques, or you can have your own opinion. You can not like a certain genre of music, but at the end of the day, good music is self-defined. I think is this self-expression, and am I happy with it? And if those are true, then it's good music.
Okay, so then why do we have the idea that there is such thing as bad music? Why are people like, oh, rap's bad? Why can we write out an entire genre? Country's bad.
I see what you're saying. I think that's because of personal biases and personal opinions, right? Personally, I'm not a very big fan of country music, and that's just because of I just the way I was raised, what I see in life. I don't necessarily like it that much, just because of who I am. But just because I don't like country music doesn't mean that country music's bad, right? There's, what's his face, Luke Combs, right? Isn't he a pretty big modern country star?
Yeah.
He makes way more money than I am, and he's a way better artist than I will ever be in my life. I don't think we're ever gonna be as famous as Luke Combs, right? Maybe we will. Who knows? Keep subscribing, keep following, hitting that bell, and I don't know how Spotify works.
Is there a bell?
I don't think there's a bell, but give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Dude, you never know. My Mongolian throat singing, my career might hit it off.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, exactly. Didgeridoo playing, right?
Yeah,
you'll go crazy with that.
Didgeridoo I got a nine-piece band, but there's only one person.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Okay. But, so, instead of being, it's not personal at that point. It's a whole, cultural thing. Just because we're not used to a music, why are we so okay of just calling it bad, writing it off right away? I guess it's more of a philosophical question, not really a bad or good, but why, as a culture, are we okay with just writing off music that we don't like as bad or as not as valuable?
I think part of it's because we as a culture are so defined by what we like and don't like, right? On social media and stuff, people like things, people either thumbs up or thumbs down something. We can't thumbs down YouTube videos anymore, but you used to be able to. We are very polarized into either you're with me or you're against me, right?
Yeah. Which
I think is a very narrow-minded way of looking at things. Instead of being
dangerous too.
Yes or no. Yeah, and honestly dangerous. I think it's more of a spectrum. Why should we be forced to say either I hate this or I love this? It should be, I kind of like it, or it's okay.
Mid.
It's mid. Yeah, more things should be mid. Not everything is the best. Not everything is the worst.
I also
Most
think
things are mid.
If I made something and somebody's like, this is mid, or this is just okay, I think that's more of an insult of it being bad, because if you have enough of yourself in something and people just think it's okay, it's very easy to forget. But if something's repulsively bad, it's also going to be, repulsively good to somebody. So bad it's good. But if it's mid, it's just boring. It's just
I get
okay.
what you're saying. That's a good point. Think about like all like the kind of commercialized pop that like isn't bad but isn't good, right? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's kind of disgusting, kind of trash music, right? I feel like in some level.
Like junk food. I always describe it as junk food music.
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
a good
fill you
word,
up and
yeah.
doesn't make. Well, for me, if you guys like it, like it. I'm not trying to force anything, but like it never like okay. So for me, I like jazz, but it's a lot of work to listen to jazz. Like I set aside and like you had to like actually you had to sit down in a dark room, headphones on, nothing else going on, and then afterwards it's such a good experience. But it's so much work when you can just listen to like Dua Lipa, Taylor Swift. You can listen to these people and it's just like yeah, I can listen to thousands of songs, but for me, how I listen to music, it's not going to be as profound of an experience as if I were to listen to, like, Miles Davis or, you know, I'm not huge into jazz, but I like when I do listen to it and get into it, you know?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. There's certain music that takes, you can sense the skill and the love that went into it, right?
Yeah. But
I think another thing, go ahead.
Okay. I'll take this. But so, then my question is like, why do we see more value, like not even just like me and you as like, because I mean, we're more into rock and stuff, but why as a culture do we see more value in like, even like classical music? People are like, oh, if you listen to classical music, you're smarter, but you're not. You just like that kind of music more. If you listen to pop, if you listen to rap, if you listen to country, if you listen to rock, you have the same. You know, you're not smarter or dumber because of what you listen to. You're not better or worse than what you listen to. So why, as a culture, is it like better to listen to these like highly meticulous like piece of work instead of the ones that's like I just want to dance, like let's just dance, you know?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, and I think this kind of ties into what you were saying. I think there's what makes music good can kind of be defined by your circumstances, right? Like, if I'm at a party, I don't want to listen to, like, classical music. That'd be weird.
Beethoven,
yeah. Like, I want to listen to, like, pop music, right? Or, like, EDM or something like that. If I'm sitting by myself in my room, I'm going to listen to something a little more slow, kind of like your jazz, or for me, it'd probably be, like, grunge or, like, some kind of, like, more, like, softer rock.
Something a little more slow. Grunge.
Yeah. Well, I would. Okay, grunge isn't that slow, but whatever. You know, if I'm when I'm working, I listen to more upbeat, peppy music because it makes me feel happier when I'm working. Right. What music seems good to you, I think, changes based on where you are in life. Right.
Yeah.
Music tastes change all the time. I feel like I'm into a different band every single week. Like I always come back to the Beatles and Pink Floyd. I feel like, but I mean. At the end of the day, I like I find a new band every week to listen to for a while, and that's just I like them now, you know.
Very cool, yeah. Yeah, and like you're saying, I think people get pigeonholed into a specific because like it is scary, especially if you're not huge into music. It's like scary to jump new genres. Like I've been trying to get into different genres than just rock. I've been trying to listen to rap and punk and stuff, and it's like man, there's so much, and it's super discouraging. So it's easy. It's it's more comfortable just to listen to what you listen to, but the reward of understanding like the nuances in this genre and that genre and being engulfed in that scene is worth it. So I think that thinking there is such I switch sides. I think that thinking there is such thing as bad music hinders your experiences in music. If you think there's such thing as bad any art form, I think it hinders your experience of that. Like obviously, if they're racist and if it doesn't go if it doesn't go with your beliefs, then you shouldn't listen to it. I'm not saying give everything a chance.
Yeah,
but
I'm not saying go out and listen to like some racist speech or some racist music, right?
Or if you really don't like country, you don't need to jump into country.
Yeah.
But I think when you say that there is such thing as bad in anything, it does limit your experience of that. Like, you might not like country, but there's gonna be some percentage of country that you really like, if you really search for it.
Yeah, I'm not a country music fan, but there are country music songs that I do like. Like, I don't like country music as a genre, but there are exceptions to that rule.
Yeah.
There's some country songs I really do like.
Like,
And one thing I want to touch on real quick
You
is
got it.
that there is definitely, even though I wouldn't say there's bad music, there is definitely technical skill level in music, right? There are certain musicians that are more technically better than others. Like, we talked about this earlier when we said that Freddie Mercury is a better vocalist than Kurt Cobain, right?
yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily make Queen a better band than Nirvana, because they both were doing their own thing and their own genre. So even though I would 100% say Freddie Mercury is better than Kurt Cobain, I would not say that Queen or Nirvana is better than each other. They're both
Yeah.
good music, you know?
And the cool thing is, even with such like polar opposites as Freddie Mercury and Kurt Cobain, there's still an argument that Kurt Cobain's a better singer. If people,
Yeah, you can make, if you wanted to, you can make that argument.
If you have more of an attachment towards Kurt Cobain than Freddie Mercury, you're not gonna care about what Freddie Mercury sings, even if it's perfect, even if he has like an 8-octave range or whatever. It could be the greatest thing in the world technically, but that's like vocalist. If he could, oh my gosh, dang, my tongue's getting all twisted. No, he can be a better vocalist. That is measurable, but singers, that's what you feel. That's like that. Like if somebody's a better guitar player, in like that, it makes you feel something. It doesn't matter if they're like if you don't like Jimi Hendrix, but you like, I don't know, like, does Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, does he do the guitar? I don't know. I think he might just be the singer, but like,
I don't know.
You know, if you like the Nickelback guitar player more than Jimi Hendrix, that's fine. It resonates with you more. One of them might be technically better, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Art is
music's
so
so
personal. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks.
Even though, in my opinion, if you somehow like Nickelback or Jimi Hendrix, you probably belong in a mental hospital,
Like
in my
both.
opinion, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, music's personal. It's what do I like, and that's what is the music, what does the artist want to create, and what do I as a consumer want to listen to? I think those are the two most important questions in music, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're meeting those two things, it's good music. That's what it comes down to. I like Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
Everyone hates Imagine Dragons, but Imagine Dragons is still good because I like them. You know.
I love making jokes about Imagine Dragons being all like, cringy and stuff, but all in all, I don't want to ever discourage somebody for like my worst. Like that's like one of the worst feelings if I were to ever discourage somebody from listening to what they like because I don't like it. Like I don't
maybe
try.
we can discourage people from listening to Nickelback. Maybe we can discourage people from that.
Yeah, but even that's yeah. I mean, even
Nah,
as a joke,
I
it's just a joke.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm joking.
But,
But
yeah.
no, I agree.
I was like, I have this thought sometimes where it's like, I mean, okay, so this might sound a little bit of egotistical, but like now with the podcast, it's like I feel like we have like a certain responsibility to even though like 2 people listen to us, like hi 2 people, but like even we have this certain responsibility because we are making content that we have to be informed and we have to be this and we don't want to like what would I say? We don't want to like hide people. We don't want to scare people from music. Like if I'm like I don't like rap, so all rap's bad, and somebody's like, "Oh, okay, I won't jump into that genre." But what if that's like the most like valuable thing in their life if they were to get into that? I don't want to be the one. Even though I don't actually think I have this much influence, but if it ever came down to it, I would hate to have somebody walk up to me and be like, "Yeah, I was listening to this, and then I heard your podcast about how bad that song is, and I just realized how bad it was. I've never listened to it again." It's like, man, that's not a good feel. That's awful. Like,
yeah, that's not fun.
I guess that's a long-winded way of saying there's a lot more value in being positive towards all art forms than negative, unless it is actively harmful. But then my argument for that, I'm going to switch sides on this one again. But
yeah, go ahead.
For anybody, like if it's racist, all that stuff, like I keep going to racist, homophobic, but if it's like sexist, anything, if it's harmful, there is value. I'm not going to say it's good, but there's value in it. There's value in it because you can learn what not to do. And then you can show people that this is an example of not a good art. This is an example of a harmful piece of art.
It's the same reason why we teach like World War II or like
Exactly.
slavery in schools. It's like, hey, don't be a Nazi, or hey, don't own slaves. That's not very
Yeah.
cool. Like
how
that's a
famous is
gross
Hitler?
oversimplification. Everyone knows Hitler, right?
Exactly.
He's
and
a horrible, but
yeah,
we know
know
he's
him
horrible.
because he's an example. It's like,
Of what
don't
not
do
to
this
do.
because
Maybe
World
don't
War II and
use
you
it for
will lose.
government. Maybe don't kill all the Jews. There's things. I mean, that's I'm being sarcastic, which I'm saying
You're being sarcastic
I'm
about
over-
saying don't kill the Jews.
Oh, no, not that. I'm oversimplifying things. I don't want to sound like I'm not trying to like make light of Hitler or anything like that. I'm just saying I'm using him as an example. Which I hate using Hitler because that's like the go-to example people use all the time. But
yeah, but it works.
yeah, it works. Yeah.
If you're gonna use an example, why not use one that works?
I think a good example. Another thing I was gonna say is kind of going off what you were saying. I said earlier I don't like country music very much as a genre. I don't want to ever discourage someone from listening to country music. Most of my friends like country music, and that's great for them. Right? I would never tell them you can't listen to this. I'd say if you enjoy it, enjoy it. That's more power to you. I'm gonna like what I like. You're gonna like what you like, and that's beautiful, and that's what we want.
Yeah, and then in more of a personal scene, I don't really care. Like if somebody's like, "Oh, I listen to this," I'll make fun of them. I mean, also a lot for Imagine Dragons.
Yeah,
but like that's because then I can explain. I'm like, hey, I actually don't mean this if you take it seriously. But here on this if this podcast ever blew up, which I don't have too much reservations, but if this podcast ever blew up and then like somebody comes back and I said like Imagine Dragons stinks, it's like that's not a good feeling. And then like what if Imagine Dragons actually watched the podcast and they're like, dang, I would have been a guest. But no, I'm not going to be now.
Yeah. No, we don't want to scare them off the podcast.
Yeah. I actually don't think... I don't like Imagine Dragons as a music, but I think they're cool enough,
Yeah.
They're not the worst thing to listen to.
They're pretty popular. Like, as much people hate on them, like...
Yeah.
They are popular.
It's better than listening to, like, somebody sing about how much they hate everybody. Like, being in a negative mindset. Imagine Dragons, it's like, they're radioactive. Woo.
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah,
it's better than Weezer, I'll give it that much.
Weezer's just 90s Imagine Dragons.
I will scare off. I don't want to interview Weezer. I'll say that right now. If they ever offered,
you don't want to interview Rivers?
Nope, I'm saying that right now.
I'll interview Rivers. It'll be a one-on-one, me and him personal.
Yeah, that's your episode, Tristan. You handle that one.
Everybody tag Rivers, and I'll talk to him about how cool Weezer is.
Just the soundbite of me saying I would never interview him.
Yeah.
Just tag that part.
Yeah, then like we got to prove you wrong, Austin. You will interview him.
Yeah. No, I refuse. You can't make me interview him. I don't want to.
I'm not a huge fan of Weezer, but I think they're cool enough. He's like a chill dude. He looks like Buddy Holly, as his song says. He looks like Buddy Holly. All right, well, let's see. Any closing things? So our first one was digital and acoustic
versus electric. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's just like go and like just teach lessons, I guess, about every one of these. Analog and acoustic. But you know what I'm trying to say. Electronic, analog.
I think our conclusion, right, was that they are both tools that have different uses, right?
Music's good, just listen. It doesn't matter what instruments they use. If you like it, you like it. There's some, like, what if somebody's just a singer? They're just a singer, that's all.
I'm sensing a theme here where we keep talking about, instead of just saying one thing's bad or not bad, we just say, everything's flexible and you can
everything's music.
Do what you want. Everything is that's what when you're talking about art, it's hard to have exact boundaries and laws. Like you can have opinions, like I've said, but it's hard to just say this is empirically, literally not good. You have to have this disclaimer that this is my opinion because it's art, and art is all about your opinion on things.
And then here's like my philosophy. If you're gonna take a stand where you have authority, or you have an appeal to authority, where you think where you have people think you know more than them and they take your word for it, don't be like Ben Shapiro, where he says rap isn't music, or Rick Beato, where they say popular music is boring now. Let people find out for themselves. If somebody doesn't like rap, they don't like rap. But let them find out for themselves, because it's their choice. And I'm not saying anything wrong with Ben Shapiro or Rick Beato. Not that I should. I'm just not going to make a point on either of those people.
Staying neutral.
Yeah. But, like, in my mind, there's no benefit of telling somebody that their favorite thing is bad.
Yeah.
There's no benefit there's no benefit in saying that music can be bad, I don't think. That's why it's such a hard argument. but
Yeah.
there is merit in learning from music that is harmful. I think that's the best argument I had. And then AI, I think, I mean, if you look at it as art, it doesn't have to, I think it doesn't have to just be an artist looking at their art as art. I think it can be the listener looking at it as art.
That's a good point. Yup, I suppose. Yeah.
If you go outside and
yeah.
look at a tree, it's like, that's art. Like, yeah.
Some of my favorite paintings are paintings of just nature, right? Like the beauty of nature. Some of my favorite photographs that are is just photographies of mountains and like landscapes.
Man,
Nature
I
itself
love that.
is an art. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to end it, I think what we're saying is we keep repeating ourselves, but yeah, like what you like. Art is art. You can't put it in a box. You can't define it. You can have you're more than entitled to have your own opinions about things.
You
That's
can
a
have
good
your
thing,
cake and eat it too in art, like in this situation.
Yeah. You can
Make your bed
can
and
say
sleep in
that.
it.
Yeah. You can say that there's no rules while having an opinion on things. That's what I'm trying to say. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to
This
end
was supposed to be a fun episode. We got all philosophical.
I know. I think this is one of my more favorite episodes we've done. I like this one a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then
right,
also, don't forget about T-Pain. My favorite, one of the best genres.
One of the genres. One of the genres of all time. Exactly.
Yeah, T-Pain. You gotta love that genre of T-Pain.
What a genre! I mean, just genre defining. I'd say that genre defined all genres. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, okay, we're back. So we're gonna plug. We're gonna do this every 2 weeks. About
every 2 weeks or so. I think is the plan.
We might bring guests back. They're gonna be a little more. I guess we only had 2 guests before, but the guests are gonna be a little more sparse from now on. Not like we had them crazy before. But if you want to be a guest, go to our Instagram, message us, and then we got to give you a rundown of how it's gonna work. So.
Yeah, and let us know who you thought. Let us know who you think the distance recording works. If you think that the audio's crappy, you think it's good. Like, how do you think the mix went for being not in the same room together?
Yeah.
It's a new thing for us to try. I liked it on mine. I could hear Tristan talking just fine, but I want to hear what you guys think.
Yes, perfect. And then Instagram's North and Returns, no space, no caps.
Yep.
No space, no uppercase. That's what it was. All right.
No space, no uppercase.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
All right, guys.
Another podcast successfully in the can. Yep. Let's high five through the computer screen. Ready?
High five.
Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. High five. Boom.
Woo!
Woo.
So North and Returns, T-Pain's a genre, music's music. Listen to what you like. Don't be hateful. Awesome times. I'll wait in 2 weeks. Have fun. Don't do anything stupid.
I kind of want a sandwich.
Let's get a sandwich. See you later.
All right. Bye. Bye. Okay. Yeah. So over.
Yeah. Now we're over. Let's see how long was that. Ooh, I got an hour and 8 on my side.
I'm an hour and 7 right now. Yeah. So, but we probably can cut out we talked for a while at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm gonna stop my recording right now.
Okay.
Huh.
Mine's longer. Mine's better. Hi, Caitlin. I'm better than Austin because mine recording's longer. That means you had to edit more. Yeah, you can't even hear Austin. Austin's speaking. He's saying how much he hates the editor. No, I'm just kidding. He said he would never say that except for when he does. Yeah, he cries about how he can't be the editor anymore because I yelled at him. Dude, I had my shoes like I had them in my chair so it wouldn't squeak. Now listen. I gotta get better chair. Okay.